Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. In this one, I'm going to be going over the top 3 best class setups to use here in Modern Warfare. So of course guys, welcome back to a brand new MW video here on the channel. And yeah, of course guys, as you can see by the title of today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 3 best class setups to use here in Modern Warfare multiplayer. Now of course, as I just mentioned, these class setups are specifically designed for multiplayer. However, if you guys would like to see me make another video similar to this one, however I go over the top 3 best class setups for Warzone, make sure you leave a like on this video, as well as comment that down below. Also guys, I do quickly want to mention, and as today's video is one of the several scheduled videos that will be going live on the channel, so yeah, I just wanted to mention that before we get too far into this one. And with that said, if you guys go on to enjoy this video, make sure you leave a like on it down below, also subscribe for more Modern Warfare content. So yeah, now that I got the intro out of the way, let's actually dive right into the class setups. And alright guys, let's get started with the first ever class setup, and this one is going to be for the FAL Assault Rifle. Now, in the current state of Modern Warfare, the FAL is an extremely powerful assault rifle in this game, and it's debatably one of the best ones. So that's what come. To start off today's video, I'm going to be leading in with a FAL class setup, so let's actually dive right into it. Of course, for my primary weapon, I will be using the Beef Eater blueprint for the FAL. Now, of course, you unlock this particular blueprint in the Season 3 Battle Pass. However, if you guys don't have this blueprint, it's really not too big of a deal. You can use any other one, or you can just use the base version of the FAL. And with that said, now let's talk a little bit about the attachments. For my first one, I will be using the Monolithic Suppressor, which will be increasing the sound suppression as well as damage range. For my second one, I will be using the XRK Marksman Barrel, which will be increasing the damage range, bullet velocity, as well as recoil control. For my third one, I will be using the TAC Laser, which will be increasing the aim down sight speed, aiming stability, as well as aim walking steadiness. Fourth one is going to be No Stock, which will be increasing the movement speed as well as aim down sight speed. And of course, for our final one, we will be using the Stippled Grip Tape, which will be increasing the aim down sight speed as well as sprint to fire speed. And of course, for this particular class setup, I tried to balance two things, and that's on one hand, I want to increase the damage of the FAL, just overall making it a little bit more consistent. However, on the other hand, I also want to make sure that the aim down sight speed as well as movement speed on this weapon is still very good, and that's why I accomplished with this particular class setup. Of course, with the FAL, you can consistently get a 1-hit kill to the head, and even if you don't end up landing a headshot, you can also get a 2 or 3 hit kill to the body, and you can do that with this class setup. However, we also have No Stock, TAC Laser, as well as the Stippled Grip Tape, so that means you can play very aggressively while using this weapon. And yeah, moving over to my secondary weapon, I will be using the Cali Sticks, which is personally my favorite secondary weapon. However, if you guys want to use a launcher or a handgun, feel free to go ahead and do so. For my perk setup, I will be using EOD Ghost and Battle Hardened. Lethal is going to be C4. My tactical is going to be Stim Shot. So yeah guys, that's of course going to be our first class setup. Moving over to our second one, we of course have my tryhard / CDL class setup. Now, of course, if you guys didn't already know, I'm a big fan of Search and Destroy in Modern Warfare. It's a lot of fun, and whenever I play Search and Destroy and I really need to do well, this is the class setup that I use. So of course, for my primary weapon, I have the MP5 submachine gun. I'm not going to be using any blueprint on it. However, if you guys want to use a blueprint on the MP5, feel free to do so. Now let's talk a little bit about the attachments. For my first one, I will be using the FTAC Collapsible Stock, which will be increasing the movement speed as well as aim down sight speed. Second attachment is of course going to be Sleight of Hand, which will be increasing our reload quickness. And of course, for our third one, we will be using the Stippled Grip Tape, which will be increasing the aim down sight speed as well as sprint to fire speed. Fourth one is going to be the 10mm auto 30 round magazine, which will be bumping up the damage as well as range of this weapon. And our final one is going to be the Merc Foregrip, which will be increasing the recoil control as well as hip fire accuracy. And interestingly enough, if you are going to be using the Merc Foregrip, it's also going to be increasing your movement speed, which is an added benefit. Now, previously for my MP5 class setups, I like to use the 45 round magazine. However, for this particular class setup, I will be using the 10mm auto 30 round magazine, which of course is going to be bumping up the damage as well as range. Now, one reason why I use the 45 round magazine is just so that way I won't be constantly reloading. However, to compensate for that, I decided to use Sleight of Hand. So that means even though we will be reloading a little bit more than if, let's say, I were to use the 45 round magazine, at least with Sleight of Hand, the reload time is going to be extremely fast. Or similar to my last class setup, I will be using the Cali Sticks, and moving over to my perk setup, I will be using EOD Ghost and Battle Hardened. Lethal is going to be Semtex, and my tactical is going to be Stim Shot. So now guys, we are going to be moving over to our third class setup, and this is going to be with the CR56 AMAX, which is honestly a really good assault rifle in this game, and it's kind of underrated because of course you see a lot of people out there using the Grau 556 as well as the M4A1, but for not as many people are using the CR56 AMAX. So with that said, let's actually dive right into the class setup. Of course, for my primary weapon, I'll just be using the standard variation of the AMAX. And talking about the attachments, for my first one, I will be using the Monolithic Suppressor, which will be increasing the sound suppression as well as damage range. For my second one, I will be using the XRK Zodiac S440 barrel. Yes, I do realize that name is quite the mouthful. However, this particular barrel will be increasing the damage range, bullet velocity, as well as recoil control. Fourth one is going to be the Commando Foregrip, which will be increasing the recoil stabilization rotation as well as aiming stability. Fourth one is going to be the 45 round magazine, which will be bumping up the magazine size of this weapon from 30 rounds to 45 rounds, which is extremely useful because I noticed that when I'm using this weapon and I use just the standard 30 round magazine, I tend to run out of ammunition extremely quickly. So that's how come we will be using the 45 round magazine. Now with that said, moving over to our final attachment, we will be using the XRK CR56 stippled wrap, which will be increasing the aim down sight speed as well as sprint to fire speed. So yeah, moving over to our secondary weapon, we will be using the Cali Sticks. Perk setup is going to be Scavenger Ghost and Battle Hardened. Lethal is going to be C4 as well as Tactical is going to be Sim Shot. Now guys, I do quickly want to mention something, and that's for this class setup. If you want to swap out Scavenger for EOD, feel free to go ahead and do so. Of course, if you are going to be playing something like Shipment or Shoot House, where there are a ton of explosions going on, then you might want to run EOD so that way you won't get blown up all the time. However, with that said, Scavenger is also a very good perk because I noticed that I tend to run out of ammunition pretty quickly with this weapon, so that's how come most of the times I use Scavenger. But once again, if you guys want to swap it out for EOD, feel free to do so. So yeah guys, that's gonna effectively wrap up today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, as well as I hope it helped you out. And if it did, don't forget to leave a like on it down below, as well as make sure to subscribe for more Modern Warfare content. So yeah, that's of course gonna be it for this video. I'm your host, Deeper Jungle. I hope to see you in the next one.